I actually studied my undergraduate on zoology and ecology because I always liked animals, outdoors, the natural world. So went through zoology at the University of Melbourne and then did my honours at ANU at the Australian National University, and I studied peregrine falcons and was interested in feeding patterns within the nest, so how much the adults fed chicks, and I was abseiling into nests. And one of the sites that we looked at was the quite well-known site in Melbourne where for the last 20 years there's been breeding pairs of peregrine falcons. So I completed my undergraduate and my honours and took up a post with Australian Volunteers International where I was posted to Bangkok in Thailand, and I was working in a science education centre like Questacon here in Australia. And at the same time I was living in Bangkok, which is a wonderful, exciting, dynamic city, but also heavily polluted, air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution. And I remember one day sitting on a bus, heading home from work, and a thought came into my head that, you know, as a zoologist, it's all very well for me to have a fascination of the natural world and a fascination of wildlife and ecology and ecosystems. But if we don't do something about the very apparent impact that humans were having on the planet, there wouldn't be much left for me to study. And I was always fascinated in, I guess, an approach which works with the influences of human behaviour. I worked for a program called Green Steps, which was here at the Monash Sustainable Development Institute, where we worked with students in particular to kind of enhance their both leadership skills but also their sort of sustainability skills and capabilities. And then when the opportunity came up at BehaviourWorks to more formally do that sort of work, I jumped at it. So what I think behavioural science is important is it, in a sense, opens up a greater range of opportunities to engage with people based on things that they find important, or based on the particular priorities that they might have, or based on the particular barriers that they encounter and how we might work with those to reduce those barriers as well. So I think there's two major challenges that are facing behavioural science from my perspective. I think one is to be a little bit more representative of, I guess, broader groups. We know a lot about what motivates people who are middle class, who typically are university students and who are from the West. So I think one of the challenges is for our insights to be more representative of more diverse communities within countries like Australia and more broadly. So that's the first one. I think the second one is an ongoing challenge, and it's this perception that a behavioural approach or behavioural science offers a silver bullet to particular challenges. And that probably comes from, you know, often the sort of popular representation of behavioural science in books and other shows where this amazing insight was found and it created this incredible change. Unfortunately, those amazing insights often came as a result of years of work and effort and trial and error. Sometimes I find people that we work with seem a little bit disappointed that we don't have an easy answer and we don't have a quick fix. Behavioural science is a scientific process, so you do have a hypothesis that you test, there's a structured approach that you take. And there may be dead ends that you come to, there may be errors that you might need to go back and have another go. And the best insights often come from engaged, involved work over a period of time. And I think the challenge, if you like, is this public perception of A, what behavioural science can bring, and B, how quickly it can create change. And I think a challenge for us is to get away from this idea that behavioural science offers this sort of secret sauce to change. And it actually is a more involved, more in-depth, comprehensive process than many people imagine.